Well, hello there, ye faithful few, and welcome back to DMS Adventures, where we only need a little tug to do a shameless plug. Well, it is a bright and beautiful day today. The perfect day to do our 2-year follow-up video on the Eurmax 10x10 Canopy. Yeah, so we have really put this canopy through its paces for the last 2 years now. And I thought that ye faithful few or anyone else coming across this video might be interested to know how this thing has held up over those 2 years. Because at the time that I reviewed this initially, I said it was a beast. And I'm very happy to report that as for those 2 years, I still think this thing is a beast. It has been punished by the elements, the rain, the wind, and in one instance, the entire canopy flipped over on its side up onto our truck, and all it took was just tipping it back down and the frame was completely fine. The only reason that it even flipped over on its side was because I did not properly stake it down, so that's on me. It continues to be put up and taken down without any problems, without any of the hinges coming apart or sticking or anything like that. The thumb releases, both for the top of the canopy and the legs themselves, have never gotten stuck. I've never had any issues with those. They release every single time. I've had 0 issues with the plastic pieces on the bottom that you stake through. They've always stayed in. And yeah, I'm happy to report that as far as the frame goes, this thing is still a beast, and I look forward to using it in the years to come. Now, I don't have it on right now, but if you remember, this thing has an awning that sticks out about 2 feet or so, and I have had issues with the poles for that. Let me show you. So here is one of the poles, and you can see that just over time, we've got a little bend here in the pole. This is the part right here that fits into the leg of the awning, and just over time, this has bent. Now, if I were to do it all over again, I probably would not even get the version that has the awning on it. The only thing it's good for really is sunshade. But as far as water and rain goes, it just ends up kind of pooling in the middle and then dumping water right where you usually are standing. So I don't plan on using it anymore. So the only thing that I really want to bring to your attention with the 2-year update has to do with the walls and the canopy itself. In regards to the walls, the loose threads here are pretty ridiculous, and they get stuck all up in the Velcro. Both the Velcro that runs along the top and the Velcro that is in the straps that attach to the canopy legs. Then the only other issue I've had is kind of on me for being lazy. So Eurmax recommends that you do not fold it up with the canopy attached, because what can happen is that as you're folding it up, the canopy can get pinched in between the frame components. And what that ends up doing is potentially putting holes in your canopy. And I've got about 3 or 4 of them. But with that being said, the canopy does still shed water perfectly. There's no leaks. I was able to take care of those holes with just some tear-aid tape. So that's a super easy fix that keeps this thing going for the next couple years. So that is our 2-year update for the Eurmax 10x10 canopy. But wait, don't go yet. So with these Eurmax canopies, they have multiple different wall kits that you can get. Now, if you've seen any of our videos, you know that with this red color, that whenever we do videos on the inside, we are just awash in a crimson tint. And I end up spending a bunch of time in post-editing trying to undo all the redness. So now I want to show you what additionally makes the Eurmax canopy one of the best canopies to have, and really one of the most fun. Let me show you. So the first wall kit I want to show you turns your Eurmax canopy into a beast of a screen house. Check that out. Now, the walls here, they attach just the same way as the other walls did, with that Velcro strip along the top. Just go along and put that in place, and then they attach down the legs the same way as the other walls as well. Now, one sort of complaint I have is that although the way they connect the walls to the legs is effective and sturdy, it is very time consuming to strap all of those straps down the legs. There's 4 on each side for each wall, so there's 8 down each leg. So that's 8, 16, 24, 32 of these things to get on. So it takes a little bit of time, but once you get it up, it's not going anywhere. So a few things to keep in mind when putting any of the Eurmax wall kits on the Canopy is you really don't want to have them staked in just yet when you're putting these on, because you need the legs to be at a correct distance apart from each other for these things to fit just right and then zip together. Then if there's one thing that has always worried me about these walls is the zippers. Now they are just a like plastic zipper with a metal zipper thing here, but this whole run here, the teeth are just plastic. Also be careful when zipping down when you pass the connection points to the legs, because sometimes it wants to bind really bad right there. So just be patient with it and you'll be able to get it through. That being said though, I haven't had a problem with them yet. It's got just a normal standard zippered front here for access right in the middle of one of the walls. All right, so wall kit number 2. I mentioned that I didn't really like the red zone that we had going on in some of our videos. And another thing about our other wall kit, the red one, I'm not a real big fan of that center entrance there. I kind of wanted a different solution. So here's wall kit number 2. We got black now, so there should be no issues with discoloration coming in. It does make it a little bit hotter in there in the summer, but for winter it would help out. That's kind of when you'd want to use it anyway in the winter to kind of keep heat in, though it also does give you some privacy if you want it. Of course, this attaches the same way as the screen room did and as the other wall kit does. Pardon the slope, the camera is actually on a gimbal. That's just how much the backyard tree actually slopes down to the pond. So here's what makes this particular wall kit different. It's the door. Got a zipper here. Got a zipper over here. And you can take this and just roll it up. And you do kind of want to roll it up backwards, so in case if it does rain, you don't get any water pooling in here, and then when you release it, all the water comes down on you. So there's a Velcro strap right here, so just loosen that up, put it through the buckle that is right here, and then you've got your door up and out of the way. So one last thing that I think makes this entry far superior to the other one is that this entire face here can roll up and get secured up here along the top. You got the whole side open if you want, and then you can drop it at a moment's notice. So it does take a minute or two to roll up, but man, that is a great option to have. This gives you some flexibility on how you want to set up your canopy. And if you need to drop it super quick, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, you got it back down, and then you can just get to the corner, zip that back up, and then you're ready for a rainstorm. Then the last pretty cool feature that this wall kit has on the side, there is a window. And there are some actual toggles with some bungees here to secure this window up and out of the way. So that window there does give us a little bit of light, but man, I mean, it is bright outside and it is pretty dark in here still. And as you can see, we still got the red zone filter going on here, but I think the black walls help that out quite a bit. Got the window there, door right over there, and then just solid walls the rest of the way around. So yeah, the window's great, but it is kind of still a little too dark in here. What do we do about that? I got it. Check this out. So Eurmax offers what they call a panoramic wall. Check that out. It is a clear vinyl material there that you're able to see straight through. Let some great light into the canopy. And this is just a fantastic option that they have just to increase the flexibility of your kit. So you are rainproof and still able to retain some heat in here and stay dry. It attaches the exact same way, which is another great thing about the Eurmax line. It zippers in the corner to, that is the entry wall right there. It still zips into that, and this particular wall panel is made out of a thicker denier material here, and this here is something that I wish all of them had. They got a little pocket down here to be able to stake the wall down so that when that wind is blowing, you're able to keep this pretty much straight up and down and not encroach on any of your usable space in here. And there are 3 of these points. There in the middle, and 1 down on that end. So that's about it for the wall kits. And you may be thinking, Mark, that's great and all, but I'm not sure how that red top is looking with this black bottom here, and I would agree with you. But luckily I have one last thing to show you, and it is the pièce de résistance. It's the cherry on top, the icing on the cake. It's the... So the last fantastic thing about the Eurmax Canopy is that you can make your own custom canopy top. So of course, that's what we did. You are looking at the new DMS Adventures Canopy Top. So to do this, you get in contact with Eurmax directly. We sent them the source file for our logo graphic, and then I also just sent them the Windows font file that I wanted for the text here around the perimeter, and they were able to incorporate that. You can choose your colors. I went with the black top and orange around the perimeter. So this tarp here is very well made. It is thick material. It still has the D-rings that they had on the other canopy top. It has the same Velcro strips across the bottom portion here to where all the walls and everything can still connect onto this canopy top. As you can see, this is the same setup that I just had with the other canopy. There's the panorama wall. Here is the entry side, Rugged Mountain Mama. Here's what we are looking like on the inside. See, we got some decent light coming through here, and I am super happy to say I don't really need to do any color correction here in post, especially with all that natural light coming into the panorama wall. It just connects the same way as the other canopy top did. There are Velcro pieces here that attach to the Velcro that is around the leg here up at the top. It also has these straps right here for attaching the canopy to the frame so you don't have any issues with it blowing away. So that may be vain to some. For me, I just think it's super cool that you can even do this and have your very own fully custom canopy. So that is it for the 2-year update on the Eurmax 10x10 canopy. It's still a beast, And for the additional wall kits that you can get with this and the custom canopy top, I just think this has been a great piece of kit to have for camping and super fun. I also feel like I should mention that I am in no way affiliated with or connected to Eurmax. I just think this is a fantastic product, and I wanted to pass my experiences along with it to all of ye faithful few and anyone else that's watching. So I want to thank you for your time. If you have any questions about anything that I've shown you today, go ahead and leave me a question in the comments down below and I will respond. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and you all have a great day.